this is Samantha here at recipethis.com and also the voice behind the popular podcast Magic with Gadgets. Today I wanted to show you just how easy it is to cook an air fryer pot roast. Unlike a traditional pot roast that uses chuck roast, or as us Brits call it, braising, we will be swapping it for top side, or you may also know it's top brown. That is because chuck roast needs to cook much slower, and to achieve a pot roast in the air fryer we're going to be using top side and then potatoes and carrots. And the wonderful thing about it is all three main ingredients cook at the same time in the air fryer basket. You just need to turn the beef halfway through cooking and then you've got your perfect meal. And we also have 450 plus more easy air fryer recipes over at recipethis.com, as well as a fantastic air fryer mini course which is free, and our free air fryer newsletter. I recommend you check it out, and if you have any questions or comments you can reach out to us or just comment on this video. So this is the beef that we're using. As I mentioned, it's beef top side, but round roast is also an option. Just fresh from the butchers, your typical size cut. And then what you need to be doing is scoring it so that you can get the flavours inside the beef. Just like that. Though don't go all the way through because you don't want to slice it up. And then once you're happy with it, it's time to season. I recommend lots of salt. Don't be shy. Load it up with lots of salt. Make sure it's getting into the gaps as well. Same with pepper. The pepper we use is just your finely ground black pepper, and that's just perfect. And then next on the list is the Liam Perrins for your Worcester. Pot roast would be the same without it. And then add some soy sauce. Then give it a good coating. What will happen is the Worcester sauce and the soy sauce will give it some moisture and it'll stop your beef from getting dry once it's cooked in the air fryer. And then once you've done that, it's ready to air fry. And then place it in your air fryer basket. You want to aim for the centre here because we're going to be adding the potatoes and the carrots soon. And then once you've done that, place it. So now it's time to set the time and temperature. We're going for 180 Celsius, 360 Fahrenheit, and we're going with a cook time of 15 minutes. And we beat. So now this is your beef after 15 minutes, and now is the time to start adding in your potatoes and carrots and carrying on the cooking time. So these are my carrots and potatoes, and what I have done is, before I started cooking, what I did is I placed the beef in the air fryer, still in its packaging, and chopped the potatoes and carrots because I wanted to make sure I didn't chop too many or not enough, because it's all about filling up the gaps. So then, once you've got your potatoes and carrots ready to go, you want to add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, more salt, a little bit of pepper. Of course, pot roast wouldn't be the same without the Worcester. And the greatest thing about the Worcester is it stops your potatoes and carrots from getting dry. And then, of course, a little bit of maple syrup. And then mix it with your hands. then you can just feel the wonderful moisture on them from the maple syrup and the Worcester sauce, and obviously the extra virgin olive oil. So now you've done that, it's a case of filling in the gaps on your beef. So let's take a closer look at the beef. As you can see, you've got space at both sides. I do this a lot with roast dinners. We have a Philips Air Fryer XL, and this is the perfect size for doing these kind of meals. And if there's just the two of you, I still recommend this size air fryer, because it's just fantastic for when you're doing meat, potato and veg at the same time. So as you can see, we're nicely filling in the gaps here. You could probably get away with a couple more carrots in here, but that's enough for us. And now it's time to place the air fryer basket back in the air fryer. We're going with a cook time and temperature now of 160 Celsius, 320 Fahrenheit, and a cook time of 45 minutes. So this will mean that your roast beef will be doing exactly an hour. And then press start. And we've beat. Oh wow. So as you can see, everything's shrunk. That's the worst thing when you're cooking, isn't it? It's how much your food actually shrinks. So let's check. That's a perfectly cooked roast potato. Shall we find some carrots to check on? Yes, they are perfectly cooked too. I love it doing the fork test just to see how well things are cooked. But notice we've got quite a lot of colour on the beef. That is because of the Worcester sauce and the soy sauce. It always gives it that blackened look. If you don't want it like that, what I recommend you do is halfway through the cooking time is you turn it, and then instead you're getting a bit of colour all over it rather than just in one place. But it's totally up to you if that's your thing or not. And as you can see, the beef is perfectly cooked too. So now it's time for Dominic to slice it for us. Okay, so let's cut into this beef, shall we? Wow. I just can't wait to tuck in. Wow, as you can see, that's a lovely shade of pink in the middle. I love my roast beef with a bit of pink. Hate it well done. So that is perfect for us. So this is our air fried pot roast, all plated up, ready for serving. So as you can see, it's produced a lot of beef here, which is fantastic. And even though it had that crust on it, you can barely see it when you're looking at these slices. It's just like it's a bit of a golden flavour on the edges. And then the potatoes look fantastic too, and so do the little carrots. If you want bigger carrots, because obviously they're reducing in size as they're cooking, then you can do them of the same size as your roast potatoes instead of little slices. Let's try some of these carrots, shall we? They taste really, really good. You can taste the maple syrup and the Worcester sauce on them. Oh, let's be greedy and have another bit because they're in small. And then the roast potatoes are just as delicious. We've been pinching them before we did this video because they're just so nice and we're starving. And those potatoes are absolutely lovely. You can't see it on the film that we're doing at the moment, but our dog's in the background saying, hurry up and finish doing that video, I want to eat all that beef. And of course, if you want more air fryer dinner recipe ideas, head over to recipethis.com and search dinners, and we have plenty to choose from. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the Recipe This family. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook and Pinterest. We also have a weekly newsletter at recipethis.com/newsletter, where we share with you our latest kitchen gadget recipes, what we're cooking in the Milner kitchen, and so much more. As well as this, we recommend that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then whenever we have a new video, you will be the first to know. And if you want to know about all our future videos, then I recommend you hit the bell for instant notifications. But even better, we now have a podcast. It's called Magic with Gadgets. Simply search Magic with Gadgets on your favourite podcast player and you'll find us there.